Um, can you hear me? Okay, great. Hi, everyone. Our challenge is regarding future housing, and we're going to start off with introducing our team. My name is Märta, and I've studied statistics and economics, and I'm from Sweden, and currently living in a condo in Stockholm.
Hi, my name is Claudia. I'm from South Africa, but I've lived in Finland for almost 10 years, which makes me move around a lot, and I study innovative governance and public management.
Hello, I'm Andrea. I am from Stockholm. My academic background is in research-focused psychology, and currently I live in public housing with my 2 cats.
Yeah, hello, my name is Jens. I studied mainly political science. I'm born in Germany and I moved for the last 6 years every semester into a new flat.
And my name is Lucy. I am from the Czech Republic and I have background in graphic and communication design. And I will move into a new apartment in 10 days.
My name is Salim. I'm from Tanzania. I have a background in telecommunications engineering. I moved out of my apartment this morning and I'm going home tonight.
Hi, my name is Mayur and I'm from India. I live in student accommodation and I'm doing my master's in KTH.
Yes. And now our journey begins. Our challenge giver is Familjebostäder, which is a public housing company owned by the municipality. Familjebostäder provides rental apartments and non-residential properties in Stockholm. And our challenge was formulated as follows. Who are the future tenants and what will they need from Familjebostäder?
Here we have a visual representation of our challenge.
Housing, one of the biggest challenges of our time with growing population and the need to accommodate all, especially in growing cities. In the complexity of this challenge, one side of the problem is the need of the tenants' voices to be heard. Not addressing this could result in apartments not being built for their needs. On the other hand, the problem for the housing company is to capture needs and wants over time, so that companies do not build unnecessary and outdated houses people won't enjoy living in. What could be the solution to this?
That is the question. So, we started our data collection in the empathizing phase by checking out the documentary Push, which was very informative and very useful for us as a team to bond and get in touch with the concept of housing needs. We also conducted interviews with teenagers in schools and adults who represent them, hopefully, possibly, in 10 years, so people who were living in apartments. And we also did some brainstorming and other immersion exercises as a group. From the interviews, we also came up with 3 personas to represent all the people we interviewed. However, what we found was that even with those personas, there was just so many differences in all the people, and we felt that the interviews didn't quite cover, or the personas didn't quite cover all the information that was gathered. So we ended up with Julia, who is a 35-year-old Swedish. She likes to be creative, and she works on smart housing for Familjebostäder, and she wants to get to know the future tenants, but does not know how. And our second persona was Tindra. She's 16-year-old Swedish student, and she's social. She likes social and playful platforms, and she's active in climate strikes and societal issues, and she is concerned about her carbon footprint and wants to be heard and influence the future. And what we found to be important was how we can connect these 2 personas together.
Yeah, so at this point, our challenge was who are the future tenants and what would they need from Familjebostäder? But our data collection interviewing these groups of people and immersing ourselves into their environments made us realize that there are a couple of recurring themes, key insights, such as that people need less restrictions and more ability to personalize their apartments. People also value privacy and and being social, and they need a balance between those two. Between groups, they have a lot of similarities, similar values, and they feel like they need to be heard, and communication is really important for everyone. So, we were wondering, how can we connect these tenants, future and current, to familjebostäder, since they need better tools to connect data or collect data. So we reframed the challenge into being, how can familjebostäder better capture the many needs and wants of current and future tenants over time?
So after reframing our challenge, so we brainstormed some ideas, and we established we wanted to establish a communication between the tenants and the family bostad, and we wanted to cover all the needs of the current and future tenants. So our first idea was the catalog, where the tenants can make some changes into the apartment, and which covers the need of personalization. The second is a hotline. It's basically a customer service, which covers the family booster is being physically present for the tenants. And the third is a community forum. It's it covers the need of a socialization. And the next is a physical competition. It's from this, the people voices can be heard. And the last is the survey. The family booster can keep a track of the tenants who are applying for the queue on the website for the more data.
Yes, out of these 5 proposals on the table, we needed to make somehow sense and go further into the second phase of the course. So we needed to choose a final concept, or we needed to limit it to one idea we want to develop more in detail. So our final concept combined features of our ideation results. So at the end we used the idea of the game, the idea of the competition, and the idea of the catalog, and we tweaked and merged these 3 ideas into one final concept using tools such as the how, wow, and now matrix. We also identified 2 concepts as less original than others, namely the survey and the telephone. I mean, these ideas were not total bullshit, but we somehow identified them as less original than the other 3 we wanted to merge into the final idea we want to present. It's named Stockholmer, and also based on feedback from Familjebostäder at the second meeting. It showed that some of the concepts were already tried or very possible to do on their own without any ideation. So as you can see, the idea is also about a smartphone or the web page of Familjebostäder, where it could be integrated. It's named the Stockholmer, and it should fulfill demanded elements of adaptation and evolution over time, also in comparison to the other ideas Major presented before. So we conducted this SWOT analysis, and it revealed that we can fill all the 4 fields with a number of items. I will not go through it in detail, but just the most important strengths and weaknesses. Internally, we identified the main strength as being self-running, personal, and creative, while weaknesses are high technical difficulty and challenging data analyzing, because the people should not play it only for fun for themselves, but also in the long run, the more it's used, the more is possible to figure out about the users. That's the idea. And externally, opportunities are mainly about achieving an up-to-date online presence, and we also believe that the key threat can be named as getting not enough participation and attention. That would be a serious threat if you put a lot of effort into it and no one uses it. So finally, our proposal matches the best with the long-term development of a tech and information society, because that's what Sweden is for sure. Most of the people agree, and that's why we merged the concepts into this. And Lucy will present more details about it.
Yes, I just wanted to mention that it can be accessible on phones. It's especially important for younger people that are just used to using phones for their information consumption. But it would be implemented on the website. You can see this square with the dark green Familjebostäder color. And also thank you for the teachers for tuning into our colors. So if you click on that button, you come into a login page, and you have two options. You can log in with your personal data, or you can also log in anonymously if you're more protective of your personal information. But if you log in anonymously, you miss certain features. So for example, you could not build from your pre-made apartment shell because the system just simply doesn't have the information on you. But you could still build from scratch, or you can look at some outdoor or social business areas and get inspired, or create your own. If you would click on the social area, you could get these build your own or vote for your favorite design. But because you're not logged in, you could not really vote for the design. So we would prevent some unauthorized votes, etc., that could be resulting in trolling. But if you sign in, you can do that. So we can see that Tindra logged in, and now she can even build from pre-built shells. So if she would click on that, she can either improve her own apartment or choose from other shells. The other shells, they are mainly made for more extreme examples of, for example, sustainability or budget housing, etc. So if we click on that, we see that there is this option of the themes. People would be able to choose if they would want. It's not anything necessary. It might be for inspiration. But Familjebostäder could also analyze the things people are choosing according to these themes. And with that said, I would like to invite you to our exhibition upstairs. We have a small prototype that you could choose, try for yourself.
And in case you're still wondering, we believe that there are a lot of incentives for people to engage with this game. We'll name a few, and I'm sure you can figure out the rest. First, we believe that the tenants will have higher urgency in the building decisions for their future houses. It's like when you play the game, you enjoy it, but at the same time, the information can be used to make decisions about future housing. We also believe that you can also contribute in how the shared and common spaces are used. Like, what would you like to have at your ground floor? Would you like to have a shop which sells flowers or something else? Things like that. We also believe that there are competitions which would allow you to have your ideas and concepts be implemented physically. And imagine having your name used to name a street or a block, Andrea Gatan, for example. That would be nice. Next. Next. And on the company side, we believe that apart from having continuous communication between tenants and the company, we believe that they will be able to make informed decisions about the current and future trends of building. It's like, you know exactly this is how it goes now. I can predict what's coming next. And we also believe that from this, they can also predict sustainability and other trends which are in relation to a house. And we believe that having satisfied customers could mean less funds being spent on moving in and out of apartments. And for the case of Tindra, again, while she can still be as playful as she was described before, but at the same time she's playful, and at the same time she's contributing to her future. So she enjoys while her ideas are being taken care of. And of course, we believe there's something for yourself. Thank you, and welcome to our exhibition upstairs.
Thank you so much. So, do we have any comments or questions? Yes, wonderful.
I just want to comment. My name is Jonas Schneider. I'm the CEO at Familjebostäder. And this was very exciting. And I really enjoyed your presentation, but also all the thinking behind your presentation. And I can really see, you have been really innovating something that we struggle with, how to actually see how the future looks like with the new generation. And so I can see the advantages for the company, but also for the next generation. They can also have an impact on how we will build our houses and apartments in the future. So this was really inspirational, and we will take this back with us. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Wonderful, thank you for the question. So, any more comments? And while I walk, I can say these personas are also super persons that Tindra and Julia to have at a board meeting, to just have them present and say, what would Tindra say about this? Is it a good suggestion? So you can play with your personas in the future as well.
Thank you, very well done. I really like the idea that you came up with. I was just wondering, since we're trying to make radical solutions, right? And your idea is based on like templates and pre-made, like you can choose from this. What if I want to build something that isn't in there? Have you thought about like integrating your own sketches or something?
Great question. Yes, you can build from scratch. So choose to build from scratch is one of the options. So if you are very creative and have ideas about the layouts and everything, you're free to do so. You can even submit it afterwards if you think that this could be useful for other people. So, yes.
Wonderful, thank you. And another question.
Have you thought anything about how to collaborate on a project to enable possibilities for co-living as well?
Yes, we have, in the sense that the point of this tool is that people don't have to talk and say what they want, because we've realized that people often don't know what they want, especially when it comes to being home. Like, home is something that you sense when there's a lack of it somehow. So we would want to address these questions of where people want to live. Actually, we didn't include it here, but we found that it's very important for both generations to live close to their, like, people who are somewhat like-minded, and for them to feel safe. And co-living would probably be something that Familjebostäder will know if people want or not. If you choose, you can choose your social area. So you can choose also who you want to have in your social area or your apartment complex. Like, who is your neighbor? What do they do? Hope that helps.
Was this collaboration or co-living? Co-living, okay, I heard wrong. No worries, that was covered then.
You had a comment on collaboration?
No, I thought it was about collaboration.
And what about you?
I just wanted to add one more thing to say what was not mentioned so far. That's maybe also important to keep in mind, because Familienbostände has by law or by politics is the expectation to cover the entire range of income or wealth. So that could also be included in the themes, because if it comes to housing, this means that we speak of very extremes, right? We speak of from the homeless people to extremely luxurious accommodation. So this is also something which can be covered by these themes, because they are adjustable over time. So if society changes, or if you want to present very different things to the people, you can include it here.
Wonderful. We have one last comment. Just in the corner here.
Hey, it's me again. I really like the layouts of your service or website. It looks really clear and professional. And I like that you tackled this problem of maybe some people trolling your website with a strong identification with a bank ID. However, I was working briefly last summer in Finland with e-identification and strong identification, and I was making this kind of a survey, finding out how people understand what happens when you actually use your bank information to log in. And I don't know how the things are in Sweden, but it's something that might need to be considered, how willing people are actually using their bank information. It might be very more common here in Sweden than in Finland, but it's something that when you are giving your personal information, including your personal identity code, it's like something to consider.
I think that this is also why we have the option to participate without having to actually use your information. If you feel that that is a personal violation, there is an option for you as well.
But also we took this as the actual login page, so Familienbostände already has this mobile bank ID, and we actually just added the option of login anonymously. But I think it is a great point to think about, and how is this data used afterwards.
And of course, the user needs to be informed at that time, of course.
Several great ideas, and thank you so much for a very nice presentation, Future Housing. An applause to you.